When Peggy and I were on Sally Jesse Raphael, we told about a story to the whole nation. We'd been at the zoo with our 6 kids, had a ball, and came home to a very big surprise. There was a sheriff in the driveway, and neighbors were milling around, and the sheriff came up to our car, and he said, oh.
My neighbor had seen a guy go out the patio door, and so they dialed, 911, and the sheriff said, well, we're going to go, I have a clipboard, we'll go room by room, and you just tell me what's been taken, but they've ransacked the place. And we got in there, and we went around, and I had to tell him it was exactly the way I left it.
You mean the sheriff told you the place had been ransacked,
Yeah.
and that's the way you...
Yes, and I almost said, oh, they even ate and left cereal bowls in front of the TV.
All right.
Well,
I understand. Why did the men ever stay with you?
Oh, well, one didn't.
Oh,
I'm divorced.
I'm sorry. I don't ask enough questions pre-interview, and I get myself into this.
No, but that's
Let's start. It's okay. I'll cover for you.
We learned, I fought, that's what we always fought about was the mess. That was the common fight constantly. And we've got a bunch of other fights that happened because of this organization.
These are, right now, the 10 reasons for marital discord.
Yes.
Marital breakup, marital
Yes.
discord. Okay, I'm ready. Reason number
Well,
one.
Well,
shall we start with this?
Well, yeah. The guy that uses the last cube needs to fill it up. Or if you're too lazy to do that, get an ice maker. Because, marriage counselor costs about $75 an hour.
So what's an ice maker?
How much does an ice maker cost?
$49.95.
She knows.
I've always wanted an ice maker.
Here's one. This is a wonder I'm still married. You see this?
See what?
Well,
Oh my goodness, what happened?
It's
the sports section, and there was a coupon I needed. Well, I love to cut coupons, and in my slob days, I cut them and didn't cash them in. But my husband would go wild. He'd go to read who won the game, and I've taken her out of there.
So you need to get 2 subscriptions to the newspaper.
Makes sense.
That's
Sure. Is there a name for this? I started off this television show, I had no idea.
Is it a toilet paper tube?
Yeah, but you know what?
Then what's the thing that goes in it?
Oh, that extension rod. It's this deal, that deal there. If you're the guy who goes in to use the facilities and that's what you find, that you're mad.
You get wild.
Oh, yeah.
And then our rule is the guy who uses the last square has to replace it, and they get to replace it any way they want to. There's the fight over which way. Should it come out? Should it come out this way or underneath?
Underneath.
How do you do it in your house?
Huh?
Hold the paper.
Here.
You gotta get it started first.
Oh, don't you hate
Oh, and
that?
see, here's another fight. We're looking at a fight right in the making. See, because when you start it, the next guy gets this.
That's a fight.
Does it go off this way?
Do you put it in there and have it come that way, or do you do it and have it come this way?
I hire somebody. Don't believe that. I just think that people think that we do.
Since we're in
okay.
Let's
so no, wait. The person, there's a new rule in the family.
Yeah.
The person who uses the last one
square
starts the new one so that you don't get rips in it and attaches it any way they want. Front to bottom, top to bottom. Next one.
Next fight. And this one, now, this is the fight. It's the person leaves the lid up.
The person, the man.
And then the other person comes in the middle of the night in the dark, and
the woman.
And that's the,
gets wet.
That's the coldest feeling in the world.
That is.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back. The worst feeling in the world is the middle of the night with the water on a certain part of you, and that
falling
feels
in
cold.
the bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides, that is the ugliest look in
Isn't
the
that?
world. Does
Yes.
anybody?
Yes.
Would you rate that #1 ugly look?
Real ugly. And
Now-
men don't realize how it's
How
offensive.
ugly it is.
Yeah.
Now, we've written a book on success and happiness, and you might be saying, so what does the toilet seat got to do with this for me? Well, here's a solution to this problem.
If you take saran wrap or plastic wrap and cover the
bowl part.
that bowl part down here
Tightly,
so it looks
see.
you can't see it.
And then this goes down, and then he comes in the middle of the night, and he gets to see what it feels like to get wet. Can you get the picture? And now stop doing it. The idea.
You know, I have heard of torture and cruelty.
Yes. We believe in it.
Hard-hearted Hannah, couldn't do that.
We believe in it because if you've got to get somebody's attention first. My son is an unconscious clutterer, and he would throw his underwear anywhere and not care. And I yelled at him for about 3 weeks, and then I got the idea, now let's get creative with this. So I took these old socks that were in my hall, took them in the kitchen, got them soaking wet, laid them out on a cookie sheet, stretched them out there, and then I froze them. Okay, then the kid comes in about 2 hours later with his friend, and I said, oh, Jeff, good, I need you. And I open the freezer, and I take them out, and they're like 2 hockey sticks like this. I said, these are your socks. And he looked at them, and I said, you know, it used to bother me that you leave them lying around all over, but now it's not a problem because I'm just freezing whatever I find out.
Her husband's an unconscious clutterer, and she froze his athletic support.
Well, don't tell him that.
Funny? I mean, it looks like a piece of art.
I know, yes. Right. Froze his athletic supporter.
Yes.
Toothpaste. There's always a squeezer and a roller.
And my husband's a roller, you know, and we almost split up over it.
What do you do?
Get 2 tubes of toothpaste.
Great idea. Great idea. This?
Okay.
Map.
Men expect women to be natural navigators.
Why did they do that? Do you know? Are we?
They don't
where
know
does
how
it
to read a
say?
map,
Yeah, where
and
does
we
it
just
say
can't
when we're born we know how? I don't know how to
map.
read this
I
darn thing.
cannot read a map.
I can't. Yours is upside down.
Oh, well, you know,
That's the problem.
That's the problem. The only way I can read a map is if we're going north, so I can hold the map the way we're going.
But we are never. How do we know when we're going north?
Well, you get in the car and face the direction where the nearest city you recognize is. And then, you know, if there's a problem, you
What do you
fly.
suggest?
You don't drive.
Fly. Okay?
Okay.
Driving in the car, really, in fact, I often say that before you marry somebody, you ought to take a long car
You
trip
should.
with them. That's
Yeah,
absolutely
There are a
right.
lot of things you should do.
Should we take some phone calls? And we have questions from the audience. We will answer any, the Slav sisters will answer any questions on how to get organized. Me, I'm almost a total loss. Hi there, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hello.
I have 6 children under the age of 8, and 2 of them are 8-month-old twins. Is there any hope for me?
Oh, not right now.
Sorry about that.
No, there's something, though.
You call us back when they're a little older.
You know what she can do, though? This
Surprised
time,
her, right?
she's really got, if we say, if you've got a child 3 or under, to consider them like a full-time job, because so she's got 8 full-time jobs.
When women say, I don't work, I'm at home, and there are 2 children at home.
See,
we are on
a bandwagon because we would go to parties and people would say, what do you do? And we'd say, I'm a homemaker. And then they would talk slowly so we could get it.
You know,
well,
what
they've
we
been
say
talking
now?
to people this tall.
You know what we say now?
What?
We say, I am responsible for creating a climate of love,
peace, joy, beauty, and order in my home. I am raising future citizens of the United States of America. What do you do?